Welcome back to the PM Mindset. We're going to continue our topic of discovering joy at work. Last week, the challenge was to pay attention to where you were immersing yourself in work so much so that an hour or two passed, you lost track of time, and then how you felt at the end of that. That is one clue that you might be finding some joy in that activity and work. This week, we're going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to ask you a very important question. Why do you do what you do? Now, some of you may answer that question with, well, money, of course. And yes, of course, there's no shame in working to provide for ourselves and our families, of course. But let's go deeper than that. Beyond money, why do you do what you do? For some of you, might be able to quickly answer that. You know your purpose, you know your impact, and you're living it. That is amazing. Great. Congratulations. You're living your purpose. For others, that might be a little more of a challenging question. So I want to ask it in a slightly different way. How does what you do positively impact others? And before you answer that, I want you to take a minute and I want you to think about your team members or your customers. I want you to picture them, and I want you to picture them after you've delivered something, some outcome of your work. You've done a great job and you've just delivered it to them. How do they react? How does that make their life easier or bring them ease or joy or happiness? So spend a couple minutes or a little more than a couple minutes. Dig deep with this. Really think about the purpose and impact of what it is that you are delivering as the outcome of your work and how that impacts your team or your customers. If you're struggling with this, if you've been thinking about it and you can't find the answer to this, that's okay. But perhaps then you might need to consider a different role. It might be time to consider a shift. Because if you can't see how your impact and purpose is helping or supporting others, then it is hard to find joy, and you deserve joy. You deserve to find joy in your work. More than likely, you're able to find big or even a small impact that you're able to offer through your work. So I want you to keep that image. I want you to keep the image of that purpose, the image of the light that you are offering to your customer or your team member close, because this is where you're going to find joy in your work. When you remember the purpose, the why behind what you're doing, that is where you find the joy. So I want to thank you for going on this mindset journey with me, and I want you to have a joy-filled week ahead.